right, so we're going to get started here with the finals of the 2012 Top Gun Invitational here from Kona, Hawaii. This will be David Cohen, 2011 World Champion, versus Tsuguyoshi Yamato, 2004 World Champion. Which one of these World Champions will come out on top here?
Let's find out. And I'm going to go...
A little more. All right, so we got our camera all adjusted. We need to adjust the names, though.
Just one of them, actually.
Yeah, he sat down in the right spot, too.
Yeah, he just knew. Probably actually did know. So, we're in for an interesting ride right now. We have Yamato versus David Cohen, a rematch.
Yeah, this is a rematch from, was it round 2 of the
yes.
Lightning Pod. We have
Lightning
the
Pod, yeah.
Lightning Pod and the Colorless Pod. So this is round 2 rematch where David was victorious the first time. Mm-hmm. Will Yamato be able to get his revenge here in a best 2 out of 3 90-minute match?
Ooh. Hard to say. I wonder if David runs plus powers. I feel like that would have been like the thing that puts him over the top in this one.
Does David run plus power?
I don't know. If he does, then it'd be pretty good.
Let's see. I mean, it's going to come down to that a lot. I mean, it does come to Mewtwo Wars a lot. Sorry, we're having some difficulties with the chat here.
Want to go slow mode? Slow mode?
Let's see.
Alright. So here we go. David starting with basic. Don't really know what it is yet, but his hand is pretty loaded if it's a DCE. Oh, no supporter though.
Oh, okay, so we are about to start the finals here at the Top Cut Invitational. David Cohen, Tsuguyoshi Yamato, 2 world champions clashing here in a mirror match. Mm-hmm. Their lists are significantly different, but when it comes down to it, it is a mirror match.
Alright, so it looks like David's going first. And here we go. Ooh.
Mewtwo versus Shaman. Okay.
Yep,
oh,
there we go.
He just went for it.
I think he's identified the weakness that it's very hard for Yamato to even do anything about it.
Well, I think he's also identified that he has nothing in his hand. So now it's going to be up to Yamato. Does he also not have a supporter?
He has N and Pont.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind.
He just drew the Pont too, so he was going to have to N him. That would have been...
I thought we were going to have a Shaman get knocked out turn 2 of the first game and just lose. But it looks like we have a Smeargle and a Darkrai coming for Yamato. And a Sneasel.
Nice. Okay, so there is a Dark Energy on that Shaman already, so it's gonna be able to retreat for the Smeargle. He's debating what... Yeah, I mean, if you played on the Sneasel, you might as well play it on the Smeargle.
Yeah, you can see Yamato is actually like contemplating, do I put down the Smeargle? Because I know you didn't play supporter, so like, what's the point?
Yeah. He's also like, I'm going to need this bench spot for Shaman later. So if you play down a Smeargle and then all your non-EXs get knocked out, well, then that's 4 prizes.
Yeah, so what do you do here if you're Yamato?
I think I just hold the Smeargle.
Do you retreat?
Yeah, I retreat for Sneasel.
Okay.
And he's going to portrait, just take a look anyways. Curiosity got the better of him, it looks like.
Yeah, it's still good to see what your opponent has, even though you know you're not going to get anything. So David, he does have a catcher. Be able to knock out the Shaman for sure.
Random receiver, I thought. Is that random?
It's a Smeargle.
Oh. All right.
So he'll have a switch, and he'll have a catcher. He'll be able to take a prize at the very least.
Mm-hmm. I like switch here, but it gives him. He's gonna hit end with this one, but
yeah, I think play the energy, maybe you go for the catcher and then you portrait.
No. Yeah, I kind of like that, but
oh, David just
he
attached.
Yeah,
But
Yamato.
now we're gonna portrait.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
that's good. Could have been a sticky situation. There is a language barrier
Yes.
where David put the energy on his Spearow and he might have like tapped it, and then that signifies to the other player that I'm using portrait. But in reality, he was just saying, "Oh no, I was just attaching the energy. Sorry."
Yeah.
But fortunately, he did use portrait, and so it's not a big deal.
All right. So there is no Darkrai in that, and there's plus power. So that's going to be huge in the Mewtwo War.
Yeah. So David, he does play plus powers himself. Yamato, he does not. So these Mewtwo wars are going to be pretty big eventually. David, does he have the advantage just because of those plus powers?
I think so. I think if it degenerates into a Mewtwo War, then David has the bigger X-Balls. So
Yeah. Now, of course, Yamato does have that N. Or, not N. I mean, he has Weavile.
well, they both had N.
Yeah. And Yamato also does have N, which can play a big factor. So maybe plus power might not even come into the equation, but he has the Weavile that could discard some important resources, maybe a supporter, a junk arm, even a plus power.
Right.
Any of those things that you can discard could end up just nullifying the advantage that plus power gives David.
Okay, so let's see. Darkrai comes down, and we're going to be seeing an X-Ball. Yeah, go Mewtwo. It's always a treat when Mewtwo comes in, and it's like, hey, he's going to live, isn't he?
Yeah, you can be pretty sure that this Mewtwo is going to live. It's pretty much impossible for Yamato with his deck. He doesn't play any switch. He doesn't play the energy switch. He doesn't play plus power. So he will not be able to use X-Ball this turn. At least not for a knockout.
Yeah, like the card combinations he has to do just to knock out a Mewtwo is like almost not worth doing it. And
he would need like double Dark Patch, Mewtwo, double colorless Shaman.
Yeah. Well,
And if you have that, you might as well just Night Spear.
I think he's just gonna. He's dark patched already. Let's see what he gets off Shaman, and it's a N.
2 N's.
Fancy.
I always think it's interesting to see what style of art that the players use when there's multiple cards available. We see Yamato, he favors the full art version of N, whereas David is going for the Dark Explorers version. No love for the plain old Noble Victories N, though.
Yeah, I didn't play any N, so I wouldn't know. But I do know about Juniper. I like the old ones better.
I do too. I'm more of a classic kind of a guy. I play the old versions if I can.
Yeah.
But not as old as some players. We saw when we recorded some matches, people were playing base set Switch, base set Revive,
Yeah.
Fossil Energy Search, and I even saw a Super Rod that was from like Neo Genesis. So it was crazy.
But you need to have translations for those?
Yeah, that text isn't even close.
It's just the same name.
Yeah. But now we see Juniper from Yamato after the random receiver. So I don't know what his plan is here for the near future. Lost Remover is a good plan, though. That'll remove that energy from David's field.
Okay, so, another junk arm.
Wow.
Dark Patch?
Could be. Is there a third energy on that Darkrai or just 2?
I think there's 3 now.
Yeah, so there's 3 for sure. I don't know if he's attached. I believe he has.
Uh-huh. And...
No, he's really leaving us in suspense. No, he has not attached yet, so he's going to retreat and Night Spear. Wow. He had 0 energy on his field, right?
Uh-huh. And he just did that.
And he just Night Speared?
Yep.
That's 3 Dark Patches.
Welcome to Junk Arm.
Oh man, what an incredible turn from Yamato. That's one way to respond to a Mewtwo X-balling you, but you gotta think that took a lot out of him. There's a ton of Dark Patches and Junk Arms gone now. Maybe he just won't have the options as the game progresses.
What does David even do from here? This is like... I would be quite shocked if that happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, you just went from, alright, I knocked out my opponent's Pokemon, I took a prize, I eliminated his only energy in play, I got a nice Mewtwo here with a double colorless, to, oh god, he has a fully powered Darkrai with an Eviolite, and my energy is in the Lost Zone.
That's totally... He has to, like, respond in kind. Like, that's the only way.
Yeah, he has to triple Dark Patch himself.
Oh, yeah. And his hand is not being too kind to him right now.
Yeah, I cannot see any way that he can Night Spear this turn.
The potion's going to help out.
What's that?
The potion's going to help out for David. He does run healing in this deck, so...
Yeah, of course, the Japanese version of the Darkrai Mewtwo deck is much different than what we're used to in America. In America, the versions run like Plus Power, Switches, Sky Arrow Bridge, that kind of thing, and more recently Potion, whereas the Japanese version relies more on just Dark Patch and Shaman to maneuver around. So, interesting to see the different styles.
Yeah, I wonder what he's going to do here. He attached a Dark Energy to Mewtwo. It looks like he's just going to try and like live this turn and maybe come back next turn with a put more energies on the field, maybe with a Night Spear, something like that.
I think he wanted to retreat for sure, and he has a Shaman. Maybe he could go for that. Just move the energy to his Darkrai. Hope for the best.
Yeah, there is Switch in the discard, so he will, if he hits Junk Arm, he'll be in pretty decent shape. If he hits like Junk Arm, Dark Patch, and just Night Spears, that'll be good.
Yep, and there we see everybody's favorite card, Potion. Gonna remove 3 damage counters. He takes it off the Mewtwo. That'll prevent a Night Spear knockout, so that's pretty smart.
I would like to point out that this is the first finals of, or this finals and Worlds finals was the first time Potion was in the finals of, like, probably any high-level tournament.
Hey, I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure it's been there before, but...
in a high-level Masters tournament?
I played it at a States once.
Did you win?
Yeah.
I hate you.
That was back when it only removed 20 damage.
I hate you even more.
Alright, so yeah, Potion has really burst onto the scene here now that Darkrai has become so popular. It's just been a way to remove the extra Night Spear damage, avoid 2-hit knockouts, and it's just become one of those cards that it changes the game.
Yeah, it's very good. The extra bump to 3 damage counters is very, very game-changing.
Yeah.
2 damage counters, it used to be like, this is really getting all I wanted to be to get done. But with 3, it's like, oh, I can just do this and Junk Arm, and then do it again, and then I'm perfectly safe. Or I may even negated your entire last turn.
Yeah.
So good.
I think it's funny because before, you would never even consider Potion being an option for your opponent. Like, if someone ever dropped a Potion on you, you'd be like, what? Who plays Potion? And then now you're just kind of like, alright, you might play Potion, I probably have to account for this. And it's actually become a part of the metagame.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, it's kind of like how Strength Charm and, like, all those other things, you have to make up 2 game plans. It's like, does he have Potion, or does he have Strength Charm or Plus Power? If yes, what do I do? If no, what do I do? So, it's really cool how cards that just change how much damage is on the field or how much damage is dealt really influence how players play.
Yeah. So David will push it for the end. He's going to be hoping for a switch here off these 5 cards. Looks like he did not get it.
No, but he has a loss remover, which is another card that is seeing huge play.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to get those DCs out of the field. Everyone wants to get those special darks just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Even, well, one thing that the Darkrai Mewtwo decks have in common, no matter where they're from, is they have Lost Remover. Because everyone realizes how good the Clink Clang deck is. Everyone realizes how good Double Colorless on Mewtwo is. And what do those have in common? Special Energy.
Alright, so it looks, I think... Okay, so Yamato is just kind of like figuring out damage and how much cards in his hand. I think if you're Yamato, you just go for it. You're clearly going to Night Spear this turn.
Yeah.
But what do you hit? I kind of like hitting the Smeargle. Or if you don't have the catcher.
If you have a catcher, I like going for the Darkrai with no energy. It forces David to attach there to retreat. And also it'll put that at 120 and then hit the Mewtwo for 30. So then you'll set up both of those to be knocked out. And basically the theory is you probably won't be able to heal both of them.
Right, right. I like that. That's not bad. Let's see. So he's going for Junk Arm on Dark Patch.
Yep. We'll see if he does have a catcher or not.
And he has another Junk Arm.
Will he use it or will he just go for the Oak?
I think he's just going to go for the Oak.
I think that's probably a better move here.
Yeah.
No need to discard your entire hand for Junk Arm when you probably need to save that for later.
Mm-hmm. He has so many catchers in his discard too, or in his deck too. So
yeah. He does get the Weavile.
Ooh. How many cards in David's hand? 2. Ooh. Let's go Claw Snag.
Wow, this is where Weavile can be game-changing, actually. Knock out the Smeargle. Claw Snag is supporter. There goes the Juniper.
That's still huge.
Yeah. That could be, like,
yeah,
the end for David if he doesn't top deck out of this soon.
He lost his Smeargle, lost his supporter. And what does he really do from here?
He does not. Oh, he just top decks a Juniper.
Another Juniper.
Oh, man. Why can't that be me?
I'm not gonna lie. It's been me a couple times.
Oh man, that is just. Hey, sometimes you draw what you need, man.
You just see a big grin.
Yamato just put his hand on his head like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But I don't think he can complain. He did the same thing to Yuta in the previous round. So, still, anytime that happens to you, you're just like, oh, you had nothing. So now David is chock full of options. He's got a full hand. Plenty of stuff to work with. He even got the max potion to heal his Mewtwo. So many things happened right there. That was all thanks to that top deck Juniper.
Mm-hmm. And with that plus power, it kind of puts Yamato in an iffy place. If he gets hit for 80 here, right?
Yeah.
And then all he has to do is like double plus power, and that's actually not unreasonable with Junk Arm.
Yeah.
Like maybe in other formats, double plus power would have been like, yeah, right. You have to be so lucky to do this, right? But here, not the case.
Yeah, and also it could set him up for an easy Mewtwo knockout. Mm-hmm. It would take, let's see, probably 4 energy.
It would take,
4
energy, 4 energy on Mewtwo to do it.
So we're gonna see Night Spear for 80, and this is the weird decision we see every game that Yamato's been in. Where do I put the 30 for Night Spear? Do I hit the Eviolated Darkrai, the Smeargle, or the Weavile? And David is the first one to hit the Weavile.
Yeah, I think on Yamato's turn here, how many energy does? 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's got 4 in play.
7 total with an X-Ball, 9 with a DCE. Oh, that's so gross. You would have to go like double Dark Patch to take out that Darkrai. And then
if it wasn't for that Lost Remover, it would have been just double Colorless Shaman, X-Ball, bye-bye Darkrai, and then we are starting a Mewtwo war.
Yeah, that would have been perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Here, though, he might just go for it anyways.
He's just like, whatever, I'll just play Mewtwo.
Here, though, going with Night Spear isn't too bad. I wonder if Yamato is just like a slight thought goes through his head. He goes, "Man, I wish I played Tropical Tidal Wave."
He's like, "Hey Yuta, slip me that Tropical Tidal Wave real quick." Alright, so you're going to see an Oak's New Theory for 6. Did he play the Dark Patch, or does he not have Dark in his discard pile?
He doesn't have Dark in his discard.
Oh.
Every time he uses Dark Patch, it's with a Junk Arm, and he gets rid of the Dark in his hand. So, he's been having problems getting Dark into the discard. But he looks like he's just going after the Darkrai's. A good move. I like it. Though I may have gone after the Shaman, because he's already taken 1 prize.
Right.
So, 3... What are you going to do, Max Potion a Shaman? I mean, you have to, but, like, it's like, really?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see if that pays off, or if maybe Shaman was the better choice. I definitely see what you're saying. I mean, it was just 3 Night Spears to go, but maybe you might not get to do 3 more Night Spears. It might just turn into Mewtwo time. So he's just going to soften up that Darkrai and say, you know what? If Mewtwo is going to be the way this is going to go, I might as well just make it easier on my Mewtwo's.
So, let's see. I think David is probably just going to X-Ball here.
He does not have the Shaman, though.
Well, he would only need...
Well, there's 80 damage on the Darkrai, so he need 4 energy to do 80 back to it, I think. Which means... Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen unless he gets Shaman.
He could catch. He got a catcher, which is nice. He's also at 5 prizes. So.
Yeah. So taking the knockout on Smeargle is not a bad plan, but he'll probably just Night Spear the active this turn, I would assume.
Wasn't bad. Let's see.
Because he's also building up damage on the Weavile, so might as well continue with that. Night Spear the active and the Weavile. Hopefully you can get a triple prize next turn with knocking out the Darkrai and the Weavile. Of course, Max Potion can stop that, but...
He's putting on the Mewtwo. I kind of like it because, like, Yamato can just knock out anything anyways.
Yeah, it's strange. Thank goodness our judge is watching. David almost just played a second supporter.
Yeah.
We have a very good judging staff here. Many people have volunteered to help. Doug Morrisoli, he is our head judge here, is gracious enough to help us out. He judges a lot in... What area is he from?
The Pennsylvania area.
Pennsylvania, yeah. I'm not sure the city exactly, but he does a lot of work out there, and we're really just fortunate to have him here helping us out.
So, let's see. We do see another Night Spear, and David is setting up for the 3-prize swing. And I think he has a pretty good shot of getting it, too, considering, Yamato would have to go for a giant Mewtwo in order to deal with this Darkrai.
Yeah, I mean, usually you never put a double colorless on a Mewtwo on the bench, but when you know Yamato's deck, he doesn't play plus powers, so he's going to have to Shaman to knock it out, and maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, so like you're going to see a bunch of energies get moved over. Maybe even... Oh, he's going for a Night Spear. Interesting.
Okay. It's going to end. I think if you're Yamato, you're hoping for the catcher here so that you can knock out that Mewtwo. Take those 2 prizes and take away the Mewtwo threat. Maybe, you don't know. Does David play another Shaman? Is it prized? You don't really know. So, even if it's not prized, he still needs the Mewtwo and then another Shaman. And when you only play Ultra Ball and not Dual Ball, that's really tough to get after an end to 5.
Yeah, so we do see X-Ball here, and David, I think, is just going to get that. He's going to try to get for catcher a 3-point swing.
Okay, so now David, pressure's back on him. Yamato has taken the 2-prize lead. He's down to 3 prizes. Well, will this just keep degenerating more and more into Mewtwo Wars, or will David just keep using Night Spear?
Well, he only needs 2 energy on a Mewtwo to keep up the war. And then at that point, because of Yamato's deck list, the war has been won.
Yeah. So if you're David, what is your priority here? There is that Darkrai sitting on the bench begging you to catch that and knock it out. Because what if he just plays a Max Potion and heals that all off? Those 2 prizes could be gone. At the same time, there's a Mewtwo active, 3 energy, begging you to knock it out with X-Ball. So which route do you go for?
I think you go for the X-Ball route, because look how many... In order for Yamato to heal everything, he would have to heal the damage off the Weavile and the Darkrai. So if he goes only... if he goes with Darkrai, then you can go, okay, I'll catcher your Smeargle, take 2 prizes, and then I just need another catcher. And I can just knock that Shaman out with anything, really. Whereas, this way, I mean, like, I think if you get the catcher, you might want to go with the Darkrai, because that Mewtwo won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say. But I think he should definitely drop the Mewtwo this turn.
Yeah, I think this is way too tempting to pass up. You're not only going to knock out that Darkrai, but you're going to knock out the Weavile. Those are 3 prizes you're going to get. You're going to go down to 2. That means you just have to knock out 1 Mewtwo to win the game. So I think this is a really strong move. It's going to put him in a position to win. It's going to make him vulnerable to N. But, I mean, that always happens anyway.
Do you just go Potion Pass Potion Night Spear at this point? You're gonna get a bunch of cards.
Yeah, you definitely bench the Mewtwo here.
Yeah.
But he decides not to. Maybe that's his last one. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to do it. But who knows?
It's all coming down to this. We're gonna see a Night Spear, and then it's just gonna be how Yamato can respond. He has to take 3 prizes still, so that's a lot. Potion has really hammered down on the amount of progress Yamato has done.
Yeah.
So I think David's in really good shape.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go down to 2 prizes, and I don't think Yamato has an immediate threat to knock him out next turn. Maybe he could pull a Shaman and move all of his energies to his Mewtwo. He would need, let's see, that would be 5, 7. You'd need like a Dark Patch, Double Colorless, and a Shaman to pull off a knockout on that Darkrai. Or he could catch her the other one with the Shaman as well. But I think this turn he really needs to play N and get a knockout.
I kind of like sending up Darkrai and then going for or even Mewtwo, it doesn't really matter. Just go for Giant Mewtwo and swing. And just be like, what's up, bro? You got the answer? No? I win. Awesome. Let's go next game.
It's certainly an option. Let's see. It looks like Yamato does have that Dark Patch in his hand. So if he can get Dark Patch, Double Colorless, Shaman... I don't see the Double Colorless.
He has an Ultra Ball, though.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go. Go Darkrai.
Oh, he promotes the Darkrai. That means he won't be able to Dark Patch to it.
It's not a big deal, I think.
Yeah, he can just retreat still.
Plus, there is a ton of damage on that Darkrai.
And he's got another Darkrai.
There's a ton of damage on David's Dark Rise.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, wow.
So he doesn't need a whole lot of damage. I kind of like, because he had the Ultra Ball in his hand, if he knows Shaman's in the deck, I kind of like sending up Smeargle. Oh, okay. So he's going for a Night Spear here.
Okay, I don't mind that play. Maybe Yamato has his other Shaman prized. If that's the case, then he wouldn't be able to get this big Mewtwo play.
Yeah.
And now it's going to come down to this. I think David's really going to need like a catcher Mewtwo Double Colorless.
Oh my god, I think he has it. He has an Ultra Ball in his hand, a Shaman, and a catcher. I think it's game.
All right, here we go. Let's see if David plays it out in the correct order. It's going to discard the Dark Patch and a Junk Arm. Does he have the catcher in his hand already?
Yeah, I think so. Here comes the Mewtwo asserting dominance.
Oh yeah, full art. Let's see. He's got a retreat.
Yep, there's a retreat.
I don't. Does he even
Catcher.
There we go.
Shaman.
Shaman. There's going to be
Boom.
X-Ball.
Yeah.
And that will be game 1. David Cohen takes the first game of the finals of the Top Cut Invitational.
Really close game. For a while there, it looked like Yamato was going to take it, but then, big turnaround with the Mewtwo War.
Yeah, I mean, usually mirror matches aren't that great to watch. Some of them can be dumb, but this one is pretty unpredictable with all the variables. And once again, the person I didn't expect to win ended up winning.
Yeah.
And Yamato's going to have to win 2 straight here to win the tournament. He certainly can do it, but just one more game, David is our Top Gun Invitational champion, and I have to say, I don't think many people expected him to win this.
Yeah, when you go underground like that, a lot of people start counting you out, and coming here, showing that it's like, hey, I may have just gotten a little unlucky at Worlds this year, but that doesn't mean I'm still a monster player.
Yeah. I mean, so far we've been watching his games. I don't think he's made any mistakes. I think he has played as well as you could have. He's played flawlessly as far as I can see.
Yeah, he's played well. And I like his build too. The plus powers are nice. Yamato's build, which is kind of happens like every year with Japanese decks. They have like the right deck, sort of, but there's a little bit off.
Yeah, they just don't have the time to like test it and figure out these little things that we have because we have so much more time to test with this format.
So when you see like things like the Weavile, it's cool, but it's not like game winning.
Yeah. And the lack of switch or Sky Arrow Bridge.
Yeah, plus power.
And that too, yeah.
I feel like if you don't run Special Dark, you have to run plus power.
Yeah, definitely. It's just too easy to get shut down by Potion and Eviolite. And now we're here at Game 2 of the finals of the Top Gun Invitational. Tsuguyoshi Yamato, 2004 World Champion on the left. David Cohen, 2011 World Champion on the right. We have a crowd gathered around here to see who will take home the trophy and all of the glory. And right off the bat, Yamato starts with a Smeargle, and he's going to play an Oak.
Okay. Let's see what he gets in his hand. There's a Weavile. I almost want to auto discard it at this
I know.
point.
I just noticed that too. The card is not as good as you thought when it's the first card you always discard from your hand.
I saw that Weavile go right next to the Ultra Ball. I was like, oh yeah, that's gone.
So he's going to go ahead and Ultra Ball for a Darkrai, I would assume. Yep. And he will still get a Portrait.
Cool. And he has the power to retreat, so if he wants to, he's not in that awkward situation anymore where you're just like, okay, that Smeargle is not going anywhere anymore.
Alright, so he's portraiting, he's deciding to use Oak's New Theory. He had a choice between that and N, but he saw David's hand was just filled with supporters and not any other useful cards, so he's going to make David play his supporter to get those useful cards.
Yeah, I almost feel like I would have ended there because of the DCE, though.
Yeah, at the same time, it's not really an immediate threat to you. Just a single double colorless is not going to do anything to a Darkrai. Maybe with a plus power, it'll knock out your Smeargle, which will be a setback. But otherwise, I don't think that's something to be too afraid of.
Yeah, but with Darkrai Mewtwo, it's not like the straight Darkrai deck where you can get away with playing one normal basic and then 3 EXs.
Yeah.
This one has to play Shaman. It has to play down, in Yamato's case, Sneasel. And that's just an inevitability. So where if you let him keep the DCE and he gets like a catcher plus power or whatever, then the prize count can end up in such a way where you just lose because of it.
Yeah, that could certainly come up. But he does retreat to the Sneasel. It's got the Psychic Resistance. There's no way that thing's getting knocked out this turn. And now David needs a catcher and a plus power. That's probably not going to happen.
Probably not. If he doesn't get a basic either, then it's just going to be like, okay, Yamato wins on Mewtwo DCE and Shaman.
Which is also not simple to have, but certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And now let's see. David does draw the catcher.
Alright, so that's good. He's going to be able to... no plus power, though.
Yeah, so really he's not going to be able to do anything. He can X-ball this Sneasel for 20. It's not really getting you anywhere, though.
Yeah, it's nice with Night Spear, though.
Yeah, you can Night Spear the Weavile twice when it evolves. So that is something that can set it up later. But overall, 20 damage to a Sneasel is not how you want to spend your turn.
Yeah, so here we go. Here we can have a big turn for Yamato. Catcher's the... okay, he's going to hit for 60.
Huh, so he decides to catcher the Smeargle anyway.
I don't know. I feel like that just gives Yamato more ways to knock David out.
Yeah, you just gave him a free portrait.
Yeah, and Yamato attaches DC to Darkrai. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Just take Juniper here.
See if he wants to take the Juniper, and...
You hit Mewtwo Shaman, you win.
Yeah. So he's going to go for it. Just needs a Mewtwo, and there's the Shaman. Does he get the Mewtwo?
If he has Junk Arm or Ultra Ball, he just wins right here.
Does he have a Junk Arm?
No, he doesn't. I don't think he does.
I don't think so either.
But he can still, get a new hand.
He could Juniper and really, really go for it.
Oh, wow.
That's starting to push your luck, though.
He smells blood in the air. He's going for it.
He is going for it. He's got an Ultra Ball and a Shaman. He got it.
That's it.
It's going to be game 2. Wow.
Let's just take a minute and remember what that Mewtwo used to be before it hits the discard. It did so much work. It did 60 damage to a Smeargle.
Yeah, so that catcher is going to be a blunder. That cost David this game. And Yamato will win game 2 on turn 2. And now we will have the third game, the final game of the Top Cut Invitational. It's been a wonderful tournament so far. And we will see who takes home the crown and the trophy, Yamato or David.
Yeah, this has been a really good tournament. So we had one turn 2. Maybe we'll get a turn 1 Night Spear this time. Who knows?
Yeah. Anything can happen with these decks. There's so many different things, combinations of cards that you can draw into that can just put pressure on your opponent early. Even if you don't, the game has a long-term plan as well, which is really why it's probably the most balanced overall deck in the format. It just has so many options. It can have a shot against any deck, and it's not a coincidence that these two decks are meeting in the finals.
Yeah, most definitely not. It's a nice 9 pile.
Yamato is very good at shuffling, by the way.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell. He amazed me the first time he did that. And now I just look and I still think it's cool, even like 8 years later. I did play against him at the first World Championship on Nintendo in 2004. Mm-hmm. So I have some experience against him. He thoroughly steamrolled me.
Wasn't my best tournament.
It's all right. You got the Sportsmanship Award.
Better than the Top 32 Award. That's for sure.
Those were the days, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what both these players start with. Yamato opts to open with 2 Pokemon. I wonder if he thinks the opening one is vulnerable and he decides not to risk it.
Yes it is.
Diesel and Darkrai. All right, I like that start.
Me too. I had a discussion with a couple players about what's the ideal start. And if you have Smeargle and Darkrai, do you just go just Smeargle? Or do you go just Darkrai? Or do you go Smeargle up front, Darkrai at the back? And we all came to the conclusion that you needed the back row regardless of the risk. Because getting turn 1 just happens so often in this format.
Yeah. Now David played a Juniper immediately discarding a Dark Patch, 2 Darks, and I can't see the last card. Might be a Junk Arm, I can't tell. He did get 2 Darks in the discard pile, though, so that is the big thing. He's going to be able to Dark Patch, but not this turn. He doesn't have any.
Okay, so there's an N Juniper in his hand, but he's just waiting to play it down. I like the DCE. It'll let him maybe Shaman it over later. I almost feel like DCE is like the card you want to play down as your energy drop most of the time in the stack.
Yeah, the only downside is that it could be Lost Removered. Both players play that card.
And there we go, there's one.
Yeah, so there is just a wasted turn for David. The energy he played down off the field, Yamato, he is pretty much just balanced out the fact that he went second. Even though David got to do everything first, he just passed.
I just gotta look at Yamato's hand, and it is 2 DCE, Mewtwo, and Dark Patch.
It sure is. Now David has an N in his hand. Hopefully he doesn't make the big mistake of playing that. Okay.
There we go.
Plays the Juniper. He's going to draw 7 cards.
And let's see, Shaman. The one card he does not want to play down here is Mewtwo.
Yeah, Yamato has that in his hand.
Yeah. Just waiting in the Raptors. It's like, all right, coming in.
Yep. Put me in, coach. So David really doesn't have too great of a start either. We'll see what Yamato drew. A Dark Energy. At least he'll be able to. He'll still be able to get the first Night Spear if David doesn't attack this turn.
Alright, so let's see if David can get the Night Spear this turn. It's going to be tough because he has a Switch in his hand. He needs like Sky Arrow. Sky Arrow wouldn't do anything. He just needs Switch.
Yeah, or 2 Dark Patches, but he attached already. So, yeah, he does play Switch, unlike Yamato. So it is a possibility to attack this turn, but yeah, pretty unlikely, I think.
There is a Shaman in his hand. He can get away with it. That Lost Remover hurt him so hard.
Yeah, now he hit an interesting spot. He has an N in his hand and a Juniper, but he cannot afford to Juniper that hand. So he actually has to pass the turn, and Yamato drew an N. As you see, he wiped the sweat off his brow. He said, whew, alright, I can play now.
Alright, so I think a Night Spear this turn is most likely going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm surprised he didn't attach before he played the N, actually.
He doesn't want it to be Lost Removered.
I thought he had another Dark, but maybe I was wrong.
No, it was just all DCs.
Okay. Looks like he's just going to end up with a double colorless anyway. So, looks like... Do you Night Spear?
You Night Spear here.
Alright, definitely. Do you Catcher the other one?
Yes.
Tough decision. If David doesn't have the Dark Patch and a way to switch, then you could just kind of get a free hit. It looks like Yamato actually went for a Portrait here.
And now it's the other way around, except for David does have a random receiver, so he's okay. He's okay. But
I'm actually perplexed as to why he decided to retreat to Smeargle here. He won't be able to Night Spear now.
Yeah, I don't know. He's clearly seen something we have not or overlooked or something. I'm not sure what the reason is.
Oh, yeah, really strange move to Portrait. And it looks like David will be able to Night Spear next turn, so...
So...
Has he been tricking us all along and he really does play Switch?
That would be something.
Actually...
Oh, he's going to get a Weavile.
Oh, wow.
That's why. Okay. He wanted the Portrait first, see what David had in his hand, and then go, alright, you have something worth getting. Here we go.
Is it even worth getting the Weavile now? Don't really know. He was really banking on David having a supporter because Yamato did not have one himself. So this was kind of, okay, I'm going to sacrifice getting the first Night Spear, but I'm going to try to get a supporter so I can stay in the game still.
But he got a second Smeargle because he's he could still get Night Spear. So
yeah,
he's saying, all right, I'm gonna be able to retreat with any of my bench Pokemon. I'm going to have a Smeargle in my hand, and hopefully next time I portrait, you have a supporter.
Yeah, you're definitely getting Night Spirit. You saw the switch and the double colorless in David's hand. That's happening without a doubt. The question is, will you get a supporter from what David has in his hand? Currently, there's not a supporter for him to use Portrait on. There is a random receiver. But if David is smart about it, I don't think he would play the random receiver here.
We see a nice catcher.
Yep. That Darkrai does have an Eviolite, so it will still take 3 hits to knock that thing out. Not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but David does run plus power, so...
It's true.
And we can see weird turns where maybe, I don't know, 4 plus power comes raining down or something.
Who knows? Anything can happen with Junk Arm. I've seen a 5 plus power turn before.
Was it from me?
No, it actually happened at States. We caught it on stream. Where a guy, he sent up a Kyurem EX as his last hope against a Mewtwo. And he went plus power, twins, plus power, Junk Arm. And hit a Mewtwo EX for 170 damage.
So Yamato draws Juniper off the top.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Pretty good. And he's still in this game. I mean, this game keeps going back and forth. Oh, Max Potion. Hello there.
Yeah, I mean, this is... All these games have been kind of a roller coaster back and forth. Like, I can't even explain how many times it's just been, nope, I have no cards in my hand. Hey, Juniper. That happened with David, was it the first game? Where Yamato claw snagged his Juniper, and then David was just like, don't worry, the next card's another one.
Yeah, and then Yamato was a little crushed on the inside.
Yeah. So right here we'll see if Yamato can manage to make a comeback. He's retreating. He looks like he's going to go for Shaman here.
Yeah.
Do you think this was a turn too soon to be doing this?
I think it's okay. Though he has no Eviolite on it, which is kind of scary, but because David doesn't have an Eviolite on his Darkrai, I think this is perfectly fine. Oh, there's one.
There's one. But I was just saying, his Darkrai only hit 70 damage on it. The odds of you being knocked out are not very high. So, would you rather play it super safe, move the energy out that turn, or wait a turn, take another hit, and then you can max potion when you use the Shaman?
Yeah. There is actually an Eviolite on David's Darkrai, so
yeah.
Apologies. But, what do you do here? Do you, there's 4 prizes, non-EXs on Yamato's field.
Yeah, if you have a catcher, you definitely just take a Smeargle out and the Sneasel. I think that's a really strong play.
But David is like, he can go for catcher or random receiver, but he only has 1 Junk Arm.
Oh, then I think you go random receiver.
Yeah. Now, do you drop the Mewtwo in DC?
Unless you have an Eviolite, that can be kind of risky, but it depends on what you do, I think. If you take the double knockout, then that's going to be a big risk, because Yamato can just go Mewtwo Shaman. If you don't take a knockout, then it's perfectly fine.
Right. So he's opting out to not do it, and it looks like he's probably going to get random receiver.
Yep.
Hoping for a shuffle draw. And I think he had another Junk Arm in his hand.
Oh, so all he gets is a Juniper. He's going to have to discard the rest of his hand to play that one.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, a Junk Arm and a Mewtwo. Will he bench the Mewtwo?
I don't think so. I don't think...
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. All right.
It could end up being a game changer later on in the game if Yamato can pull off the Shaman onto a Mewtwo and get a catcher for those last 2 prizes.
Yeah. It also stops Yamato from randomly going Mewtwo, though.
Yeah, that's true. And it's always painful to have to discard one of your Mewtwo's, and then a Mewtwo war starts and you're just behind.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough. You don't have enough ammunition to keep up in the battle.
So it doesn't look like there's a. Okay, so we're gonna see a Night Spear. Or is there a catcher? No. Oh, there is a. Was that a catcher?
Yeah, he does have a catcher, but he's deciding not to take the double knockout. Interesting.
Right. Huh.
maybe, I guess he's just prioritizing softening up that Darkrai more than anything. He realizes he's going to need to take out those attackers no matter what to win this game. So maybe just save the catcher for later. That way you can just take the cheap prize. They're always going to be there.
Yeah, definitely. He can go, let's see, so Yamato, his options are kind of limited. And I like the DC. I like that he keeps attaching it because he knows, all right, I'm going to lose another guy somewhere along the way. But that's just going to let me go Mewtwo, Shaman, and big damage.
I mean, and that's really what a lot of these games just come down to. It's Mewtwo and X-Ball, cross fingers. I can't even explain how many games have been decided by that, even just in the past few months. So many things are just, go Mewtwo, hope you don't have a Mewtwo.
And when they do, it's just like, oh, well, I'll play down my other Mewtwo, and then hope you still don't have Mewtwo.
And then they play their other Mewtwo, and you're like, alright, here's my other Mewtwo, and I hope they don't have their third Mewtwo. And then you lose if they do.
Well, that's what ends for.
And we just summarized the World Championship Finals. But we still have a match going on here. David now has a ton of damage on his active Darkrai. Will he be able to move the energy off it and Shaman with Max Potion? Otherwise, that's just going to be 2 prizes for Yamato to take. And
it would be strong if he Shaman's here. Puts it on Mewtwo and then X-Balls. He would be up to 3 prizes.
Yeah, he could do that. Does he have enough energy to pull that off? He has 4 on the board already. That's if he hitting for 100, he would need an extra energy to pull that off.
Plus power.
Or plus power, yeah.
And if he has DCE, then he can move even less energy.
Yeah.
Which is one right there.
So he certainly is considering this play.
I like it. It lets him take 2 prizes, go to 3, sets up, and while still having a Darkrai powered up relatively. And you can do a lot of cool stuff with that.
Oh, he has 2 Shamans in the discard. Uh-oh. Does he play 3?
I guess.
Or okay, never mind. Maybe I was seeing things. Maybe there weren't 2 in the discard. I don't really know. But he will be able to use Celebration Wind. Shaman's a card that everyone plays at least one of. But you can't fault someone for playing, like, even if someone played 4 Shaman, I would be like, alright, I understand. The card is that good. Just usually you can't find the space for it.
It's almost like, wow, that's silly, because now I don't even know what you're cutting anymore for it.
But yeah, just Celebration Wind is one of the best powers we've ever seen. Just being able to rearrange all of your energy and just drop any attacker out of nowhere. That's just, the options it gives you is so devastating, and I mean, so many games have been decided by it.
Here comes Darkrai.
Okay, so he's deciding to go Darkrai instead of Mewtwo. What do you think about that?
I actually preferred the Mewtwo hit here, and having energies on Darkrai for you can attack later. You would have gotten 2 prizes, gotten some cards. I think it would have just been great.
Yeah, I think so too. But he's going to go for the Night Spear route. Maybe David is a little apprehensive about the whole Mewtwo thing. He's probably been on the wrong end of some Mewtwo wars before. I'm sure that's happened to everybody, where you just don't draw your Mewtwo and you end up losing. So maybe he just doesn't want to chance it, and he feels like his position is so strong just using Night Spear that it's better to do it this way.
At that point, I questioned them dropping Mewtwo if he was going for that. I mean, like, maybe it's just a deterrent.
Yeah.
But
in this situation, Mewtwo on the bench isn't bad because Yamato doesn't have enough bench space to go Mewtwo Shaman. He's only got 1 spot, so that Mewtwo is safe for the time being. In the future, though, yeah, it definitely could be a liability.
And there's the Max Potion.
Oh, man. That is why you probably should have went for Mewtwo.
Yep.
But at the same time, Yamato did have to remove all of the energy from that Darkrai. This game is still extremely close, and I have no idea who's going to win.
Let's see. Maybe... Has Yamato attached yet?
I think he has attached, yeah.
But I'm going to go with David. And here's the reason why. He'll have more energy next turn.
Well, Yamato still can Night Spear. And he could Dark Patch here. Would that change your mind?
If he gets Dark Patch here, yes. Yes, it will.
So yeah, I think he's actually going to go for the catcher. He's going to knock out David's Darkrai on the bench and take those 2 prizes, and he'll be in the lead. Let's see what else he discards.
The Dark Energy here, I think.
Yep, he's going to go ahead and discard the Dark Energy for... Catcher. All right, here comes the Darkrai. That'll be a knockout with Night Spear. Yamato will take 2 prizes. Go ahead there. And drop the card on the ground.
Alright, so yeah, I guess you just put, what would you do, 10 or 30 to the, I like 30 to the other Darkrai.
30 to the Mewtwo is not bad either. I think
Mewtwo, yeah.
it had 30 on it already, it looks like. So it's going to put it at 60 damage. Yeah, that's the right spot to go, I think.
Yeah, not bad. Did he put it on the Darkrai though? The
What's that?
eviolated one? Did he put it on the eviolated Darkrai?
No, he did 30 to the Mewtwo.
Oh, okay. I see. It's just really light.
So yeah, Yamato's plan is definitely going to be, I need to knock out 2 more EXs, game over. Whereas David's plan is, I need to get a knockout this turn, or at least set up something to be knocked out. I can just knock out 2 EXs and then catcher, or maybe knock out 2 EXs and Night Spear the Smeargle 2 more times.
Yeah.
But I can't tell. Is there an Eviolite on that Smeargle?
Yes there is.
So that plan is out the window.
Yeah,
Pretty clever play, actually.
Yamato kind of recognized that plan, was just like, nope, not happening to me.
Yeah, so now it's going to take 3 Night Spears to target down the Shaman or the other Smeargle.
So, I like catching up the eviolated. Ooh, lost remover.
Okay, that's always a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to make Yamato attach another energy to that active Darkrai. Let's see, we do have a Dark Patch from David.
Let's see. No catcher in his hand, though.
They're making sure that goes to the Lost Zone.
Yeah, Yamato's just too used to Enhanced Hammer.
Nobody really likes putting energy in the Lost Zone anyway. It's almost embarrassing. It's a mark of shame to have your energy out in the middle of nowhere. I used to have these. Now they're gone forever.
Can't even Steelix them back.
So, alright, we have a catcher. He's going to bring up that Darkrai without the Eviolite. This is big to Night Spirit for 90, and I think you would hit the Mewtwo again for 30.
Yeah, I agree. You just bully it around a little bit.
Yeah, so then it might just be 2 more Night Spears after that if David cannot heal those Pokemon. And that would make Yamato our champion. But, you know, a lot of stuff can happen between now and then.
Yeah, let's see. So he's going to hit the Mewtwo, and then what does David do about it? He can... I think he just needs Max Potion on Mewtwo right here.
Right.
Oh!
Yamato didn't attach to that Darkrai. Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's really up to David whether he wants to let him take it back then.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a fairly casual tournament. There is a lot on the line, but, I mean, these players have been very casual with each other. And, wow, what a great sport David is.
Yeah.
Yamato says thank you. And what a great sport David is. Really earned a lot of respect from me, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and he puts it on the Mewtwo. Okay, there goes this. Alright. So, let's see.
Yamato's such a nice guy. You have to let him take it back.
Oh, maybe the putting in the lost zone threw him off.
Yeah, really did. All right, now it's David's turn to go ahead and try something. What is your plan of attack here? I'm not even sure. I guess you Night Spear 30 to that other Smeargle?
Yeah. If you have he has a catcher. I like just knocking something out, honestly.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
I like just bringing up the Eviolited Smeargle and just trying to knock out something else without Eviolite on it.
Yeah, it all depends on whether or not David has another Shaman to work with. If he doesn't, his options are going to be very limited in terms of being able to use Mewtwo. He might not ever be able to use Mewtwo this game if that's the case. So he's going to have to plan out his game accordingly just to win with Night Spears. And that is not the place you want to be in against Yamato.
Yeah, like, also, just Night Spear in here and, like, putting damage on, like, Shaman is good here. No, you just put it on the 30 damaged.
Yeah, I think you set up the Night Spear knockout next turn. You know, it's just, you need 5 prizes. You need to pick up an extra one somewhere. Might as well try and get it on that Smeargle. And maybe he won't have a max potion.
Yeah. So we do see N, and N count is getting pretty high.
Yeah. We've seen N probably be the most played supporter in all of our matches overall. Even Essa played it in his Vileplume deck.
Also played catcher.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in Vileplume it's not strange. It's just the Excelgor deck that it would be strange in. Usually don't play N in that deck. But now we're seeing another N, and David's going to Night Spear, of course. But what will he target, and how will Yamato respond to that?
Ooh, Dark onto the Shaman.
Okay.
Nice.
He's going to drop a Prism and Energy Bloom. Look out.
You know, that actually happened to me in testing.
Really?
Yeah, someone did it.
I've done it before. I did it during cities when someone was glaciating me with Kyurem. And I just attached energy to all my Pokemon and used Energy Bloom. And it healed 30 from all of them.
Get locked.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do then? You have to outrage and knock out the Shaman.
Well, at that, you said cities?
Yeah.
At that point, you just retaliate because you're playing against Trode.
Alright, we do see a random receiver. I believe he got a Juniper from that. So, Yamato's just going to take a look, see how many cards are left in his deck. Of course, when you play Juniper, you have to draw 7, so the main concern is not running out of cards in your deck. We've seen players lose like that before.
Alright, so there's a Juniper, and, more Eviolites, yeah. And Shaman. David's really just trying to set up a big bunch of knockouts so where Mewtwo won't be a factor.
Yeah, this is a huge turn for Yamato. If he cannot find a Junk Arm or a Max Potion, then that 3-prize turn is looming ahead, where David just needs a catcher to knock out the Darkrai and the Smeargle, and all of a sudden he'll be down at 2 prizes, and Yamato will be at 4. I gotta say, I like David's spot if he can draw the catcher this turn. And he's got one in his hand, actually.
Well, yeah, I think there's an Eviolite on the Darkrai too, so it'll take a little bit longer, but, you know, you may be able to go like Night Spear, or I'm sorry, X-Ball. And, you know, you have Shaman, catcher. If you go catcher, Shaman, X-Ball, well, that's 2 prizes, go to 3.
Yeah, the Darkrai on the bench has, what, like 140 damage on it?
Is that right?
Yeah, it took 2 Night Spears, so 140 damage. So he'll be able to catcher it out. There we go.
Okay.
And that'll be 3 prizes in 1 turn on a Night Spear. And then he just takes 2 more prizes, and he will be our Top Cut Invitational champion.
Yep. So, it's setting up real nicely with all those 2 non-EXs. 2 catchers later, boom.
Yeah.
Ooh.
David attaches a second Dark to his Shaman.
It's smart, though, because it's like, what are you going to do? Knock out the Mewtwo or knock out the Shaman?
Yeah. Why would you ever catch your Shaman to knock it out? Especially when you need to knock out 2 EXs. So it's the safest place you could possibly put your energy.
All right, we are winding down
Yeah.
into this game. It's almost over, but this could go either way. Like, for instance, say Yamato goes like goes, all right, whatever. I just drew an N. Mewtwo Shaman. N. With a catcher.
I think that Mewtwo on the bench has 90 on it. So his best interest would probably be to just catcher the Mewtwo and play an N and hope for the best.
Right.
And Night Spirit for a knockout. Otherwise, there's just too many ways for David to pull off like a big Shaman Mewtwo kind of thing. N is definitely the card he needs to be playing this turn, because David did have a lot of cards in his hand.
There is still a pretty good prize swing coming up for David or Yamato too.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can do it. And he's going for the probably.
Let's see, he's trying to see where he wants to drop an energy down. He's counting cards in his deck. He might not have enough to win the game.
I think he's safe.
5 cards left?
Yeah, he has 8 total, so he'll draw 4. 4 turns, so he'll take 4 prizes. That should be good.
Yeah. It always amazes me how quickly people can burn through their decks with a Darkrai deck, just because you have Ultra Ball, Junk Arm, Juniper, Portrait. All these things discard cards from your deck, and here's the end.
Alright, here we go.
It's going to come down to whether or not he draws catcher, I think. That's going to be the big deciding factor to knock out that Mewtwo.
If he can get 2 catchers, I think he just wins.
Yeah, certainly could. Even a catcher and then a Shaman for a big X-Ball. See what he gets off his 4 cards. There's a catcher.
There's a catcher, and there's a Pont. I think Yamato has done it unless David can, go N himself.
Yeah, or David, he still could get. Let's see, we have a Closta. Did he just bench that Sneasel?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Man, our judges are pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's see. David could still win if he gets a Shaman Mewtwo catcher. It's definitely in the realm of possibilities. But Yamato is going to catcher out that other Darkrai. It looks like he can Night Spear that one for a knockout. And he'll go down to 2 prizes. It's going to make it tough for David to respond.
Alright, and then here we go. I don't think this damage matters too much, but we see Junk Arm.
Wow, it could be a random receiver.
Yeah. So at this point, all it takes is... And he draws an energy. Good card to draw, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you go for random receiver. What else? Yeah. Unless it's not in there, which I think it is.
All right,
okay, here we go.
Receiver. Here we go.
Oh, this is coming down to the wire. Juniper, that's the best card you could go for. Oh, my. There's a Shaman left in his deck. There's a Shaman. 4. Does he draw the catcher, too?
No.
There's only 5 energy on this field. He would need, 3 more to pull off an X-Ball knockout. Oh, Yamato, could he do it?
Ooh, does he have a max potion at least?
I don't think so.
He does have a Smeargle. I think you go for Smeargle here.
Possibly, yeah. What else would you even try to do? I don't even know.
Maybe check your discard pile, see if you have Switch. Or, yeah.
Man, there's probably at least 1 catcher or Junk Arm left in David's deck. So he doesn't have many cards left. That's got to be heartbreaking for him to not win the game right there.
Let's see. I think oh, this is so tough. Discards the Smeargle. Searches his deck.
Oh, the catcher was the next card.
Yep.
Oh, how heartbreaking is that?
He's just looking at it going, oh man, really?
The next card was the Pokemon catcher. David Cohen was 1 card away from winning the Top Gun Invitational. Oh.
Well, it's not. Yeah, Yamato has a catcher, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
It just comes down to this. And we're all just waiting in suspense as David kind of mulls his options over.
Oh, man, you got to feel for David. I mean, he let Yamato take back that play. You would think some good karma would go his way, but doesn't look like that's happening right now.
All right, here we picks out a fresh Mewtwo. Maybe he just so tough. Because like even if he like lets the Darkrai live, stay up, right? He just gets Mewtwo'd.
Yeah, it just takes a Shaman and the game's over. I guess you would just go for a portrait. I don't think Yamato will have anything, and if he has like a Juniper, you would just lose the game instantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you get out of this situation.
You would have to get. There's no switch in this deck, is there?
Who?
David's.
No, there's none left.
Yeah. So no matter what, if you portrait, no matter what supporter you hit, you just lose.
Yeah, David does have that Oak in his hand. I mean, really, he just has to Night Spear here, I think, and hope for the best.
I actually think instead of Night Spearing, just retreating for maybe the Smeargle in his hand, and just say, please don't have catcher.
That could work. At the same time, he doesn't really have a way to capitalize on that unless Yamato knocks him out.
Well, he has a Pont in his hand, so he's going to draw the rest of his deck, so he wins next turn.
That's true. So he's going to put down the Smeargle. Will he use Portrait? I think that would be a pretty big risk.
Yeah, that's...
See what's going to happen, though. Claw Stag.
Portrait.
Oh, he's got an Oak. Does David deck out?
No, he's at one.
Huh?
He's at one card left. I'm pretty sure.
All right, so he's going to draw 6 here. I didn't catch it. Did Yamato have a catcher?
I didn't get the chance to see.
So, yeah, 1 card left in your deck. So he knows that the Weavile's there. You have to move all your energy this turn, otherwise the Shaman just gets discarded.
And
gotta do it. Gotta play the Shaman this turn, otherwise it just gets claw snagged, and Yamato will win. Hands down, he'll win this game. If David doesn't play the Shaman right... Oh, he doesn't play it.
Alright.
So now it just comes down to a catcher. Does Yamato even have one left?
I'm not sure.
That could also be a problem.
But the Claw Snag will win the game, or...
Claw Snag will pretty much win the game.
Yeah.
Let's see, we do have an Ultra Ball. I guess he's going to go ahead and look to see if there's a catcher left in his deck, and if it's there...
I see a Shaman.
That doesn't help him at all.
Nope.
Uh-oh. No catcher left.
Oh, man.
He needs to Claw Snag, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he has to.
Claw Snag, Night Spear. I guess you hit that Mewtwo with the does it have 120 on it already?
Yep.
Alright, yeah, definitely do that. There we go. What's he going to take? Definitely needs to take the Shaman.
I don't know. You can get the catcher. I don't think it matters, though.
Shaman is the only way you lose this game. So I think you definitely take that. That's the only way David could take 2 prizes this turn. Next turn, Yamato will have the Shaman of his own to be able to power up his Mewtwo.
He's just trying to figure out how many... He's considering the catcher.
Oh, that would be a huge blunder. Claw Snag needs to discard the Shaman. Otherwise, David has a real chance to win. He's got 4 energy on board, 5 energy on board. He has a double colorless in his hand.
It's 10.
So maybe it won't end up mattering.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, Shaman is probably the safest play. Catcher is the next safest play.
And what he had to do last turn was Shaman, just like...
Preemptively.
Yeah, preemptively.
Yeah. And, alright, Yamato makes the right decision, discards the Shaman. I think we just saw a Claw Snag for the win.
Yes, we did.
Wouldn't have expected to see that here in the finals of the Top Cut Invitational. Weavile making his final appearance here in this format. He's saying goodbye in the rotation, but he was fun when he was around.
And Yamato draws a junk arm off his prize.
So that's game no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, David needed to use that Shaman last turn to move all the energy on his Mewtwo. I'm not sure why he did do that. There's no downside to it. You lose to a catcher regardless. Maybe he just wasn't thinking about it. Maybe he forgot about Claw Snag. But
maybe it's a uncommonly played card.
Yeah. What's the last card in his deck? It didn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
I think is that it?
That's it.
David's just gonna take a look. Does he have any options? I don't see one.
No. He's just kind of trying to find all his outs, but I don't think he's gonna see any.
Yeah, it's his last turn no matter what. He has no cards left in his deck. Can he pull out the victory here? It doesn't look like he has any options. That Shaman was his last hope. Yamato Claw Snagged victory away from David, and Tsuguyoshi Yamato will be our 2012 Top Cut Invitational champion. Wow, what a great tournament.
Yeah, definitely really cool tactic that line there with the Weavile. Maybe that was the deck he was going to run at Worlds if he had queued in.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool to see Yamato win. Really, there's not a better ambassador for the game than him. Mm-hmm. He's just always very cheerful and happy. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and I'm glad to see him get a victory here.
Yeah, it was a very, very good match.
Yeah, very well played by both sides. David, I don't think it would have mattered if he did play the Shaman at the end.
He's a good catcher.
Yeah. The Claw Snag would have gotten him no matter what. So, David played as well as he could. Yamato played just extremely well, and he will take down the Top Cut Invitational.
Wow, what a tournament.
Yeah. So I'm very happy to see that result. Congratulations to David, though. He had a huge showing. Took second here. Took the game down to the wire. I mean, what more can you ask for here from the tournament?
Yeah, I think we were pretty fortunate with all our both Top Cut rounds.
Yeah.
Both went to game 3. Both were very good.
Yeah.
And this mirror match is a very interesting one. It can go either way.
Yeah, and we might see more of that in the next format, but no Shaman now, so maybe a little more predictable. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up here from the Top Gun Invitational. We've had a great tournament with 8 great players. In the end, Tsuguyoshi Yamato will be the winner. David Cohen finishes second. I mean, what a great weekend here at Hawaii in Worlds, and I don't think we could have ended it any better way.
Yeah, it was a great tournament. Congratulations to Yamato.
Yeah, definitely. So before we wrap this up, I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate all of your support. Please follow us on Twitter at Pooka311, at Michael Pramawat, and all the Top Cut at Top Cut Pokemon. Drew Holton, Crims23. Find everybody on Twitter. We're always going to be updating with more and more Pokemon news. And hopefully we provided a great tournament for you. We felt like it was very exciting. And anything else you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, this was a great tournament. All the players were great. All the people who helped us out, photography, extra cameras. Want to give a shout out to
Card Leaders,
who helped us stream out the other pod and the other matches, which is really cool. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, and if you want to follow us, all Twitter, I gave all that. Facebook.com/TopCutPokemon. Subscribe to us here on Twitch TV so you can see whenever we go live. We stream all the time. We have just games. We have a show every week. And check out our website, thetopcut.net. Other than that, I know it's getting late. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Kyle Sucevich.
I'm Michael Pramawat.
We're here from the Top Cut, and we'll see you next year.
See ya.